I had the opportunity to tour the oil sands from the air and at a production facility on the ground. Coming out of this trip, I have to say that I agree with Premier Redford's recent comment that we need a national conversation about how we develop our country's natural resources. As New Democrats, we believe in a vision for sustainable, long-term growth that will create wealth and prosperity here in the West, not just for today, but for generations to come. The most important point for me to make, though, is that we are here talking about the federal government's responsibilities. Lots been said in the past few weeks about the different discussions that are taking place on these important issues, but I wanted to make that a very clear point. We're talking about what the federal government is failing to do right now.
The fair mechanism for the industries to do the cap and trade. And we've talked about it up the yin-yang in Alberta. There are lots of ways of doing it that will be fair, and nobody has been more fairly represented in this dialogue than the oil and gas sector.
I hope that this is the start of a more rational dialogue. We've heard a lot from people who are attempting to exploit this issue for their own benefit. And one of the reasons that I invited him here is so people could get to know him and to remove the unknown factor which allows certain people to exploit some of the comments for their own political purposes.
I guess this is a good lesson that when you stand up to a bully, the bully backs down, because I was delighted to hear that Mr. Mulcair has changed his tune. He's calling them the bitumen sands. Hopefully that language will catch on in the rest of the country. What I had hoped, though, was to hear an apology, because he did actually say that the model for development that our industry here was using was the same model of development in Nigeria. I hope now, having observed it, he actually doesn't see that, and he's changed his tune on that. I would have liked to have seen an apology.